Hi everyone. Today we will talk about genetically modified foods. It is in Unit 5, Science. And as you know, the first thing we should do about the lecture is to do the test. Let's go into the test and see what you will do. As you see in the test, we have an audio. Please listen the audio and match the words with their definitions. In the first part, we have bacteria, consume, and crops. Here we have modify, normal, and pesticide. As you see, there are definitions here. Can you please match them? Here we have pigs, primarily, and purchase. In part 4, we have retain, source, vitamins. And in the last part, we have many words. You should type the best word for the space. As you know, these tests are really important to understand the lecture. It includes necessary words to understand the lecture better. When you are done with the test, you should go back to the file. And here we have the handout. Let's download it. And the handout starts with a skills focus, listening for key terms. In lectures, as you know, speakers often introduce important new terms in a lecture. They may explain how a term is pronounced or spelled. You should write these new terms down. And there are some ways to signal important terms. These ways are emphasizing the term by saying it louder or longer, repeating the term, pausing before and or after the term, spelling the term, making a hand gesture that goes with the term, writing the term on the board. There are some ways. Now, you will listen actually, and a short audio, a short extract from a lecture. This is the audio. Can you please listen the audio and tick the ways here, which one you hear in this excerpt. When you listen, you will see that the speaker emphasizing the term by saying it louder or longer. In the lecture, she is talking about transgenetic and genetic modification. So we heard that she emphasizes the term by saying louder. And she repeats the term. This is another way in this short extract. And the last one, she spells the terms, these two terms. So she used 3 ways to signal an important term. And now, can you please listen this short audio again and fill the gaps here, complete the notes, okay? Okay, I assume that you listened, so let's look at here. Today, they will talk about the genetic modification of food. Okay, that's genetic modification. And here another gap is this, also called what? Let's look at the TypeScript again. Also called. Another term for this type of food is transgenic food. Okay, so today she will talk about the genetic modification of food. It is also called transgenic food. Okay, now let's go down. As you see, we have questions. We have 7 questions about the lecture. The first question is, how does the lecturer define genetic modification? You should write the definition of genetic modification. And next question, why was flavor savour tomato developed? What was the reason behind it? This is one of the genetically modified food. And next question, what problems did the flavor savour tomato encounter? You should write the problems here. Fourth question, how does BT corn work? This is the second genetically modified food, and how does it work? Next question, how widespread is the use of BT corn today? Next question, how many children go blind every year because of a lack of vitamin A? And last question, this is a comparison question. How is golden rice different from normal rice? Okay, you should say the differences. Okay, now pause the recording, and as you know, you can find the lecture on your course page from the media album. And as you see, the lecture is here, genetically modified food. Please listen the lecture, watch the lecture twice in order to understand better. When you are done, please start the recording again and you will see the answers. Okay, now I assume that you have listened to the lecture, you have watched the lecture, so let's look at the answers together. So the first question, what is the definition of genetic modification? And the answer is here. Genetic modification is when we change the genes inside of a living thing to make it grow in a different way. So this part is important. We change the genes inside of a living thing. Okay. And next question. Why was flavor savour tomato developed? What was the reason behind it? And the reason is here. There is a big problem with growing fruits and vegetables and keeping them fresh, like tomatoes. After you pick them, they go bad quickly. They get too soft and they don't taste good anymore. So these were the reasons behind development of flavor savour tomato. Next question. What problems did the flavor savour tomato encounter? Now let's look at the problems. One problem was that people didn't trust. Okay, that's enough. People didn't trust. And they thought that it might be unhealthy or dangerous to eat. They didn't buy it. Another problem was that people said it didn't taste very good. Okay, so as you see, there are three problems actually. People didn't trust, might be unhealthy or dangerous to eat, and didn't taste very good. These are the problems. Next question, how does BT corn work? Let's look at it. Scientists used a common bacteria called Bt bacteria, and this bacteria lives in the ground and makes a natural poison that kills insects, but it doesn't hurt people at all. Okay? You should explain how it works actually here. There is a bacteria called Bt bacteria. It lives in the ground and it is a natural poison, but it doesn't hurt people at all. Next question, how widespread is the use of Bt corn today? As you see, Bt corn is one of the most popular genetically modified crops today. One of the most popular genetically modified food or crops. Next question, how many children go blind every year because of a lack of vitamin A? How many? 300,000 children go blind. This is the answer for question 6. And last question, how is golden rice different from normal rice? Golden rice is the last genetically modified food mentioned in the lecture. And as you see, it looks just like regular rice, except now we will see the differences. It has a yellowish orange golden color like a carrot. The difference is about the color actually. Okay, these are the answers for the questions. Now let's go back to our course page. We will do a dictation activity now. Can you please pause the recording and listen to the 7 sentences? Write down what you hear, what you exactly hear. And when you listened, the sentences are here. Let me show you. Now check your sentences if it is correct or not. Everything should be the same. Okay, when you check these sentences, you are done with this lecture.